The Quad summit that was scheduled to be held in Sydney next week has now been called off. The leaders of India, the United States, Japan, and Australia will now instead meet in Japan on the sidelines of the G7 meeting.
The Quad leaders meeting will not be going ahead in Sydney next week. We, though, will be having that discussion between Quad leaders in Japan. I thank Prime Minister Kishida for his invitation for me to attend the G7, and it is appropriate that we talk.
The decision to cancel the summit at Sydney comes after U.S. President Joe Biden decided to postpone his plans to travel to Australia and Papua New Guinea due to an unfolding crisis over the U.S. debt ceiling.
I had a discussion with President Biden in the early hours of this morning. He expressed very much his disappointment at being unable to come to Sydney for the Quad leaders meeting and address the Parliament that had been scheduled for Canberra next week.
The summit in Sydney was supposed to be the third in-person meeting of the leaders, but after the U.S. president canceled his trip, the Australian Prime Minister said Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has also pulled out of his trip. But a visit to Australia by India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will still go ahead. Next week's visit by Modi will also include a rally at an indoor stadium in the country.